Whoosh.
Welcome back to Living in the Pacific Northwest with Hal Byrd. I'm Hal Byrd.
I'm JB.
And today we're going to talk to you about the undeniable appeal of Portland. And Portland's always in the news.
Yeah.
It's usually not for something good.
I was gonna say for good or for bad, but usually.
And we thought about making this video because we recently spoke to a client who was seriously considering downtown Vancouver. And they came out here, visited, and were like, there's way more neighborhoods like downtown Vancouver in Portland.
Yeah, they wanted something that was very walkable, kind of community feel, walk to shops. And that was interesting because, again, I'd never thought about it in those terms. But they said there's more kind of city centers, if you will.
Yeah, like main streets, basically.
Yeah.
Along Portland.
Yep.
And so it got us thinking about when you go to Portland, there is an undeniable appeal to it, especially if you're someone who has like a love for craftsmen, old homes, or even new construction. Mm-hmm. But city living, walkability, art, culture, different things like that. So today we're going to talk about why we think Portland is undeniably appealing.
Well, that, and then also right around that same day or so, we ended up taking a bike ride with our friends at Trek. They put on something called Pedal Around Portland, and it was a really cool concept. Basically started at Trek in Beaverton, and it rode all around the city of Portland, stopping at Trek shops around the city.
So we went through Washington Park, downtown, we went over the bridges, and it was just really nice to see the city in a different perspective.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we love about biking in the city.
Yeah, and it just got us to thinking, you know, as we're on the ride and after, we're like, how freaking cool of a city is Portland? You know, like really and truly, like it has a little bit of everything.
Wait, I heard the National Guard's going into Portland, that it's like HE double hockey sticks. No. Terrible to live in.
I didn't know that. I didn't see that.
You didn't hear that?
Uh-uh.
Oh.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah, Trump is sending the National Guard to Portland.
Oh, to do what?
To
guard the parks? For what?
Oh no,
it's just a relevant time. I honestly thought you were joking because I wasn't up on that news cycle. So as far as the National Guards in Portland and it being like a war zone, I'm like, what Portland are we talking about here? Is there some sub-earth Portland I don't know about that I don't reach when we're there? We were there last night eating dinner. It was like, wow, this is great.
We went to Portland 2 nights in a row for dinner.
Yeah, go figure. Maybe we like living in hell. And so even as very happy Greater Vancouver, Ridgefield residents, there is an absolutely undeniable appeal of Portland, and we say it every time we go there. So we figured we would shoot a video, just kind of lay out some of the reasons that we feel that the appeal of Portland is undeniable, whether you're looking and considering possibly living there, or just going to visit and taking advantage of some of the amenities and beauty and variety.
Yeah, so the first reason is variety. One of the nice things about being in the city is just the variety of activities, people, cultures, food, just anything that you can watch, shops, stores, restaurants, all those things.
Yeah, it's the opposite of a lot of people who reach out to us through this channel, and thank you for doing so, who ask you to help them find a home.
Yes, by the way, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in the Pacific Northwest, make sure to shoot me a text at 360-818-4438.
I heard you're a licensed relocation and luxury specialist actually in Oregon and in Washington. Is that true?
Correct.
Okay, that would be a good time to, what do they call it? Selfless promotion? Shameless promotion. But one of the things that I hear a lot of people not wanting is cookie cutter, right? I hear that so much from people who are looking. So again, and I can totally relate. And I think Portland is the antithesis of cookie cutter.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So,
you know, from casual restaurants, you know, Jarrett and I went 2 nights ago to a plant-based Italian pop-up night. You can go really specific with the casual restaurants, the pop-ups, the food cart pods, which is something a little bit unique to Portland. I think Portland made it really popular where instead of food trucks, like where I grew up in Southern California, the food trucks drive from location to location. Food cart pods, it's basically a food truck, but it's in a permanent location, and there you'll have anywhere from, I've seen as little as like 3 or 4 to, I don't know, 20 plus food carts all parked in the same location. So it really makes it easy for someone to open a restaurant and stay in business when the overhead is so low. They have their truck, they have minimal rent because they're just renting space essentially.
And where we went a couple nights ago, if I'm not mistaken, it was like a seasonal deal where this particular chef makes plant-based food excellent. Do you want to give him a plug?
Oh yeah, shout out to Joanne at Plant-Based Poppy. We love your food. I'm so inspired by everything that you do.
Which is his niche is all vegan food.
Yep.
Which again is someone who, I'm a flexitarian, right? I eat a little bit of everything. I'm always impressed with every one of his dishes, so.
Best vegan pizza I ever had.
Absolutely. But so that would you call that? That's almost to me almost like a seasonal offering where he's there for a certain amount of time, showcasing his talents at a specific restaurant. And I think you wanted to catch him before he moved on to something else.
Yeah, he hasn't announced what he's doing next, but we'll link his Instagram here too.
Yeah, that's really cool of you. But there's a lot of things like that in Portland where it's like you can go there, you can experience something that's not, again, just cookie cutter, something that's fresh, that's relevant, and you have a good opportunity to experience it before it becomes something else.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of cool because I think we were talking about the bees. Like you've got bookstores, bakeries, boutiques, like put a bird on it.
Bird on it.
Everything that you could want is in the city. Compared to Vancouver, while we have some really great mom and pop restaurants, we also have a lot of chains in Clark County. So as a Washington resident who frequents Portland, I think that's the variety is definitely key.
Absolutely, variety.
Next up, we want to talk about what I guess these days they call multimodal transportation or walkability/bikeability. And Portland
and even trolleys and trams too. That's one of the things I forget about. So I always think walking and biking, but just the ability to not have to rely on a car.
Yeah.
Right. So like some of the best cities we've ever been in, they have amazing trains and trolleys, and in addition to biking and pedestrian infrastructure.
That's a good point because it's public transit. It's your own transit by your own power, either your feet or your legs pedaling. But it's just so easy and enjoyable, and it feels incredibly safe. A lot of especially on the east side of Portland, so east of the Willamette River, where you have a lot of residential neighborhoods, there's certain streets that are sort of more bike friendly, like they're dedicated bike paths and throughways, even though they're on the street. The speed of cars is not high through those residential areas, so it feels incredibly safe. Yeah,
and the city goes out of their way to curb the speed and just do different implementations, whether it's a small little roundabout or a bump out, I don't know all the technical terms, but just ways, like you said, to curb the speed of cars through these neighborhoods. And I love the effect. Again, going back to our pedal around Portland, we literally stitched a ride together around the entire city, and some of it we were riding along the actual highway, I-5 and 205, I think maybe, but we're on bike, we're on dedicated bike and walking paths, totally separate, totally safe. And then you go through the city streets, you have infrastructure and bike lanes. And we saw a little bit of everything on that ride. We actually captured some footage. We'll try to share some along in this video. But yeah, I absolutely love the ability to not have to depend solely on a car to get around and experience the city.
Yeah, and we have clients who, they are a couple, the wife works from home, the husband works in downtown Portland, and they live sort of close to Happy Valley. They're in the city, but near Powell Butte, and they manage to be a one-car household. And oftentimes he takes a combo where he gets on public transit and then also bikes.
Yeah, I love that.
So,
and it's reminding me of, and you guys may have heard us before, but a couple years ago we did a river cruise through Europe, and my favorite city was Amsterdam. And we were there for 4 days. And you know what I just thought about? We didn't get in a car one time over the course of 4 days. We either walked or we biked, and we went all over the city.
Even from the airport, we took public transit.
Right, even from the airport. So, again, that non-dependency on a car just made my experience so much richer because you're experiencing everything. Our time there was, to me, so enriching by the fact that we weren't in a car. We were experiencing things. We were walking around. We were riding. We rode from a museum to breakfast through a Christmas parade, if I'm not mistaken. Wait. So let us know, how was your first bike experience in Amsterdam?
It was great. No complaints.
Not too chaotic?
It's a little intimidating, but I think if you remember that the bikes pretty much have the right of way, I guess, unless you're going against a tram. And I even went in front of the tram, and the lady, she saw me. So I think bikes kind of rule the world in Amsterdam.
My kind of city. Signing out.
And again, these are things I'll never forget. And to me, they were such a heightened experience. And that's, again, exactly how I feel when we're in Portland.
Yeah, and even when we go into Portland, sometimes we'll take our bikes and we'll park one place and we'll bike where we need to go. Mm-hmm. And so I think also tying in these different appeals. So the walkability and bikeability is nice because you have a variety of things to experience and go to. Sure, you could bike around the country and like that's one sort of beauty, right? Like going down a country road, but it's not as safe. Cars are driving at a higher speed. The lanes are wide.
It's comparatively a terrible experience.
And like with the country roads, there's often not sidewalks. So I like how they kind of weave together. The variety helps you want to do the multimodal transportation, the walking, the biking, the public transit, so that you can experience that variety.
Great point.
Number 3, we have West Coast affordability. We talked about this in a recent video, but Portland is still the most affordable city, major city on the West Coast. And you can see, we'll put up this chart with the classifications of different counties and what's considered low cost of living, medium, high, very high, and very, very high, I think is what the chart goes to. But Portland is still one of the most affordable major cities on the West Coast. And I think that helps a lot. So when we're looking at median price point, it's going to depend wildly on the neighborhood. But that was the other thing that our client said when he was looking at downtown Vancouver for his walkability. He said the options, the amount of inventory that I'm seeing there for things that we would like was very few. But when he went into Portland, he's like, the inventory for the type of home we're looking for is so much more vast.
Right. So you were able to help this this great guy buy first home on 1/3 of an acre, beautiful house. So when we're talking about the undeniable appeal of Portland, you're not doing that in Seattle. You're not doing that in the Bay Area or most other places. So when you couple that with the livability, with the variety, with the affordability, and it's just one more example of why Portland is, to me, has some serious undeniable appeal going on.
Yeah, and he's walking distance. He can walk his dog to Selwood, to the waterfront park there. He can get on the Springwater Trail corridor, Springwater corridor, and bike to experience that variety. So if he, wants to go out on a date in downtown, he could bike to a date in downtown or something.
And coupling along with the housing prices that you just laid out, cheap and free activities and amenities is another reason that, again, Portland just stands out to me. I mean, how many things did we find that look so fun and appealing that cost little to nothing, like this bike ride, for example, an experience like that, which is so awesome that doesn't cost you much of anything. So that's another reason, in addition to the housing prices.
Yeah, overall affordability, cost of living is still reasonable. Not the lowest cost of living place. The cost of everything has gone up. So when people in the comments that are from here, like, you don't understand, it's so expensive. It's like, it's more expensive everywhere. Yeah. Like, we have family that lives on the East Coast. We have family that lives in California and probably
down south.
It's everybody is dealing with the same things. I think that's, I don't know, maybe it's part of the human experience to think that your problems are unique to you and your area.
It certainly is.
So that brings us to the fourth thing, which is big-ish city amenities. Yeah. My favorite is PDX International Airport because, I love traveling, but it's also such an easy airport to deal with. You can get, whether you live, if you're in the city, within about 30 minutes, depending on the time of day, you could.
Yeah, it depends on traffic. But yeah, the takeaway is that to have such an amazing international airport, regularly regarded as one of the best airports in the entire country.
Yeah, and probably if you're within a 30-mile radius, which is the entire city of Portland, right, you can get to the airport in less than 30 minutes.
To be so easy to get to. And anytime we have people fly in or we travel, I'm just reminded of how much easier it is to navigate than mostly any other airport. Getting in, getting out, parking, pretty much the entire experience. A little bit more walking now that they've expanded the airport and added on some terminals.
But that's fitting with such an outdoorsy city.
Well, we'll say, but they made the experience with this remodel. They made the experience of going through this bigger airport so much nicer. It's not a bad thing to me.
Yeah, and I think that the big city amenities that we have in Portland come without a lot of the big city headaches.
Mm-hmm.
So
what kind of headaches?
Well, not as much traffic. as like LA, the Bay Area. I mean, the Bay Area and those bridges and the tolls, like our bridges aren't tolled, at least not yet. And really, it's not going to be the city of Portland bridges that are tolled. It's going to be the interstate bridges, the 205 and I-5.
Right.
But you have, I think, just reasonable people who want to live a nice life. To me, Portland isn't, having lived in LA and seen Seattle and just been in different big cities, the homelessness crisis that's going on in Portland it's not great, but I also know that it could be worse.
Right. And like you said, I don't think I've ever lived anywhere that didn't have some level of homelessness. Again, it's for whatever reason, Portland tends to get the brunt of the exposure, but again, I've lived all over the country for the better part of 5 decades. And guess what? There's been homelessness since I was a little kid to this day. So
I would say in big cities especially, but like where I grew up in the suburbs, there was no homeless people, but there's no resources. It was too hot. Anyway.
But also some other biggest city amenities without the headaches, we can look at parking.
Yeah, I heard that last night you took your pickup truck into the city and had no problem parking on the streets.
On the street, lickety split, easy. So it doesn't, what's the term? It doesn't, make me nervous or anxious or, fear of like, okay, am I going to find somewhere to park? It's just not really ever been an issue.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the tall building, it's like, Portland has a section with tall buildings like downtown Portland, but right behind downtown is Forest Park and the zoo and all this like outdoorsiness. And then even in the residential streets, like so many of those are so tree lined that you don't get that big city anxiety of feeling like you're surrounded by glass and metal and concrete.
And even with all the amazing natural features in Seattle, again, once you're in the city, you still get that kind of, like you said, big building anxiety.
Yeah, the shadows that they cast to me are always weird in the city where like you don't really see the sunset sometimes, or like I don't know how to explain it. The tall buildings, the shadows it creates are kind of depressing to me.
And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that Portland is to me, like, I call it the bite-sized big city, because it has how many residents?
About 600,000.
600,000 residents. So that's not a huge city, but you get a lot of big city amenities. So it's
to put it in MBA terms like we've done, it's like a B market.
It's a B market. Another B. Didn't you talk about B's earlier?
Yeah, boutiques, bookstores, bakeries.
Birds and B markets. Let's go.
We're kind of leading into the fifth reason that we think Portland's undeniably appealing is that it's a vibe. Like, people love, even while you may not want to live here full time, or you may not want to live in the city full time. We have a video about the Oregon suburbs here. We have tons of videos about living in Southwest Washington, just the neighbor to the north. Mm-hmm. But one thing you can't deny is that it is a vibe. When you come in, it's carefree, it's artsy, it's people helping each other. People are so friendly. We don't have the Seattle freeze down in the Portland metro area. Which
is so different. Over the weekend, we actually drove up near Seattle for a Overland Expo. And even just the traffic, even just the energy, we stopped in a Starbucks. It's different. It's crazy. I mean, you were talking about 2 hours away, but it is literally like a different world from, like you said, from just a interpersonality, get along, how you doing type of thing. It's different.
Well, like when we stop and we chat with people, like the restaurant we went to last night in Kenton, Fino, I wouldn't say we're regulars, but we've been there a few times and they know us.
They know us. Yeah.
Like, and
it made me feel like we're
so friendly, And I had a video call with one of our viewers when we stopped.
At the patio there, right?
Yeah, and I just felt like they went out of their way to accommodate us, and compare that to people wondering like, what are you doing here and why are you bothering me by patronizing our business? Sometimes that's how it feels.
It's a great point. And a lot of you guys who've spoken with us offline, who are thinking about seriously moving here, we tell you about what I call like almost the best sense of Southern hospitality I've experienced. And this is living in the South for a number of years. The hospitality that you get in Portland and by extension, Greater Vancouver, to me is unrivaled. Yeah. And that's probably something that's not spoken enough about. I mean, the Seattle freeze is widely known, but the hospitality in Portland Metro, and again by extension across the river, is something we probably need to talk a lot more about.
I wonder if it has anything to do with how many trees and nature there is in the city, because we're just talking about Seattle being more like metal and cold, literally and figuratively, the people. But in Portland, I mean, and I know there's different areas of Seattle. So there are residential areas in Seattle, but I don't know. There's something about Portland, the outdoorsiness, the people wanting to be outside, neighbors walking, neighbors of all ages. You see the bike buses with the kids, and now adults are doing that.
Yes.
You see elderly people out walking. You see families out walking with their kids and strollers and their dogs. And
I saw a line. We were eating last night, and I saw a line of bikes riding by, and it was a family, and the dad was riding a Bach-Frida, a cargo bike with the kids in the front, and the mom was on a different bike, and I was just like, how cool of a scene is this?
Yeah, but Portland must be hell to live in, right?
Living in hell, baby, living in hell.
We're going to wipe them out. They're going to be gone, and they're going to be gone fast. They won't even stand the fight. They will not stay there. They've ruined that city. I have people that used to live in Portland. They've left. Most of them have left. But what they've done to that place is just, it's like living in hell.
But again, as you're continuing on the vibe, when I'm there, I feel, like you said, very carefree, very light. I feel youthful in a way that's weird. You know, it's just like youthful and carefree, not stupid and silly, but just I feel like the way life should be a lot more of. Like you're just there, you're enjoying life, you're experiencing things and meeting people, and it's like you said, it's a vibe.
And I see that at every age group, because the people we met when we were doing Pedal Around Portland that are doing I forget what their bike charity is called. We'll put it in here. We're gonna donate some bikes to them, and they were, I don't know, gray-haired, 60, in the 60, 70 plus crowd-ish. And they were just so excited and energized and like out serving the community and just doing great things. And I don't know how to explain it. It feels like people here lead fulfilling lives.
That's a great way to put it. Balance.
Yeah.
Another B word.
That's why we're the birds.
Oh.
You go with the birds to get all the bees, you know? And then the last thing is, you know, as we've kind of how do you say that?
Woven.
As we've kind of, you can put that in the edit.
No, leave it right here. Hooked on phonics.
As we've woven all of these different things together, from the variety and the walkability, multimodal transportation, the big city amenities without the big city headaches, and the vibe. What was the other thing we talked about? Oh, the affordability.
Affordability.
It makes it very easy. All of those things make it easy to be a tourist in your town, where you want to go out and you want to experience things, you want to do things, you want to go to festivals. Whether that's Pride or music festivals like the St. John's Jazz Festival that happens every year. There's just so much to do. There's beer fests and like every kind of food fest you can imagine. We didn't even talk about really the foodiness of Portland, but it is, like we talked about in the beginning, undeniably appealing.
Yeah, and like you said, being a tourist in your own town, you hear that phrase, you know, pretty often. And to me, like you said, Portland perfectly demonstrates, you know, why that's so easy and really desirable there. So whether you're visiting any one of numerous attractions or going to do something again or going to a midday market, thinking about the Kent neighborhood, they have a Wednesday market, I think. I mean, it's just so many ways, and it's so easy to be that tourist. And again, it just adds to that enriching lifestyle that we feel.
And of course, this isn't to say that there aren't downsides to Portland, but this is what we find appealing about Portland, and why when we go into the city, we're like, man, maybe we should move to Portland. Like maybe we should be on the Oregon side. We're always flirting with it because it has that undeniable appeal. And I will say, so this video isn't to talk about the downsides of Portland, but if you want to know what Portland struggles, leave a comment, because I know we're going to hear the comments, well, don't go to Chinatown after dark. Like, sure. I mean, but again, you need to have city smarts when you live in the city. And Portland used to be just a small city, maybe a sea market. And now it's grown. People continue to move here because of the Silicon Forest. We're kind of hinting at a video that we have coming up. There's so many jobs and people coming in, and big businesses like Intel and HP recruiting people here. So we just want you to know that we're very pragmatic people. Yeah. We see the struggles and we talk about them, and we're happy to talk about them on this channel.
We're very, very realistic. Some may say I'm skeptical, but the point is, with this channel, you get the good and the bad, but honestly, there's enough polarizing, you know, Portland's on fire, it's like living in hell out there. Again, that's just not our experience, right? And these are from people who spend quite a lot of time in Portland. So we want to give you, I mean, it's easy to get, that's low hanging fruit to me.
Yeah.
Right. But again, we want to give you, yeah. So we want to give you kind of, again, our perspective. So again, if you're flirting with the idea of moving to or within Portland, or I guess you'd already know if you live here, we just wanted to give you kind of why we think the appeal is so undeniable.
So thank you for joining us on this video. We love to hear from you in the comments. Make sure you are subscribed, like this video, share it with someone you know who might want to move to Portland or loves the city, loves visiting, and hates where they live. Or someone who's looking to move out from the coast into the city, or from northeast to southeast, whatever the case is. We're here to help. Myself and my team have an amazing process that we take our buyers and sellers through that's really time tested, battle tested, and we'll give you all of the detail and protection that you need from a competent professional realtors with the team. So without further ado, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in the Pacific Northwest, make sure to shoot me a text at 360-818-4438. You can also find all of our other contact information, email, Instagram, all those things in the description below, as well as book a virtual meeting with us. So I look forward to meeting you guys, not just on your TVs,
yes,
but
IRL
and on video chat. So
cool. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again on the next one.
ciao.
Ciao.